Hello, Mr. Lee.
Oh, hello.
Hi, I'm Dr. Muglia. I'm one of the psychiatrists.
Yeah.
I understand your GP's referred you to come and see me today. And I understand you had concerns with your eyes. Okay, I can see it might be quite difficult for you to discuss this with me. What would you like me to call you?
Nick. Maybe call me Nick.
Nick, can you tell me what are your concerns about your eyes?
Well, they've always just been too far apart.
Okay, can you explain to me more about why you think they're too far apart?
Well, I can see they're too far. They feel too far apart. And it's been that for a long time.
How long has this been going on?
Since I was a teenager.
And what does it mean to you that your eyes are far apart?
I don't go out, in the daytime. I think people just looking at it, because it just looks so odd.
And has there anyone commented on that?
I saw an optician, so I've been having problems with my eyes, and I saw an optician, and they didn't comment on it, but the glasses I tried on, they just made my face look really big, so I don't wear them.
So Nick, sounds like it's been quite difficult for you. For a long time you have thought that your eyes are far apart. And no one has commented, but it's something that you've seen and you think people are looking at you. How convinced are you that this is actually happening?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels that way. And yeah, right, people don't comment. But I think people take pity on me at times.
When you look in the mirror, what do you see?
Which is my eyes just wide, quite far apart. It just looks odd. I look deformed in some way.
Is that what you see?
Yeah.
And do you do anything to cover up or to try and camouflage the way your eyes look?
No, I just tend not to go out now.
And if you do go out, do you use anything to cover?
Sometimes I might put on some dark glasses, but that looks a bit strange during the day. I'll probably just keep my head down. And
you've told me, Nick, that you've seen an optician. And have they said anything about your eyes being far apart?
No, they didn't say that, but I don't know, you got to feel that they're looking for frames that are going to be unusual, I suppose. No, they didn't mention it.
Apart from your eyes being far apart, are you concerned about any other parts of your body?
No.
And how has this impacted on you? I know you said that you have difficulty going out, you don't go out. How has it affected the other aspects of your life?
Well, I used to do a lot of sports. I used to enjoy sports ever since I was a kid. I sort of lost myself in sports. I sort of don't do that now. I still go to work, but I find that really hard some days.
What work do you do?
I work in a call centre for the NHS Direct, one of the senior managers there.
And how, you said you find it difficult, what do you mean?
Well, it's great on the phone, because you're on the phone all the time, and that's fine. It's just when you go into work and then you get a feeling that people are just looking at you, and they're always looking at your eyes, I just get my head down and go in.
Has anyone commented when that's happened?
No, I think they're too kind.
Sounds like it's affected you in going out, it's affected your work, it's affected you playing sports, and has it affected any of your relationships?
Well, I've had a few girlfriends over the years. I think they've just taken pity on me, or maybe they think it's an unusual thing, but they haven't lasted long.
So I'm trying to understand when this all began. Has there been anything in your childhood that sticks out, any unpleasant memories?
I mean, I was teased at school about my eyes being a bit funny. I was a teenager, just people sort of would call me froggy eyes and things like that, you know. That hurt.
So that must have been really upsetting for you. So what you're telling me is that when you were quite young and teenager that you were called names.
Yeah.
Do you think that has affected you?
Well, I suppose I hadn't really thought about it before then, but when I look at it, yeah, I can see I do have funny eyes.
Have you had any other physical illnesses when you were younger or now?
No.
Okay. And how have you been coping with all of this? I mean, sometimes people might take alcohol.
I drink a little bit, and I'm going to be honest, I take a bit of cannabis.
And how much do you take?
And about 3 or 4 times in the month, maybe.
And how long has it been going on for?
A few months.
Okay. Do you find that helps you?
Yeah, it sort of picks you up a little bit.
How has this all affected your mood?
Sometimes I get really down. I do, I get down.
Have you ever felt like wanting to end it all?
No, not that down.
Have you ever had strange experiences, and this might seem like a really strange question, any strange noises or voices when no one's around?
No, not had that.
Okay. And can you tell me, in terms of, like you've told me that this has been really difficult for you, you said you've not had any thoughts of wanting to harm yourself or anyone else?
No, nothing like that.
Okay. So thank you so much for talking to me. From what you've told me is that you've had this thought about your eyes being far apart, and it's had been going on for some time. And you've quite firmly believe that this is a problem, despite the optician and everyone else telling you that there's no problem. Have I understood it correctly?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I would like to see you again and to see whether you can get any further help. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you so much.